We are connected with loved ones, angels. When we are passing, loved ones come to help, angels come in the room. I mean, I've literally been in so many patients' rooms where they're leaving their body, and I can feel and sense and see so much happening in the room, and then light coming in, and it's magical.
What if the clearest moment of your life happens right before you die? Catherine Duncan has sat with hundreds of people in their final hours, and what they realize at the end might change how you live now. She spent decades in trauma hospitals and hospice, witnessing sudden deaths, last-minute awakenings, powerful spiritual phenomenon, and right when people are about to die, she's seen regret surface and disappear. Light fill up the room, and people drop into deep clarity. She says even if it's 1 second, everyone before they die comes into peace. Catherine shares why years of meditation and self-care can leave people feeling empty, and how unprocessed trauma lives in the body and drives our choices, and the simple shifts that reconnect you to something real. She explains why manifestation fails often, and how elevated emotions like love and gratitude is what actually can change your life. She also reveals what she's witnessed bedside with people in their final hours of life, moments before they transition. This conversation is about learning from those who've already walked on the edge of life and death, so you can wake up now, not someday in the future. Oh boy, am I excited for this talk. Everyone, viewers and listeners, you know I have been so deep in the spirituality. I've been in for so many years. But I love how now all of a sudden on podcasts, everybody wants to hear more about the spirituality, the how am I connected to a higher source? Am I connected? How do I connect to it more? How does it go deeper? Well, guess what? We have Catherine Duncan on the show. And when I say embodiment of so much spiritual work, you are guiding people like a light to sort of come back to themselves and remember who they are. What is their purpose? Welcome to the show, first and foremost.
Thank you. Great to meet you today.
Yeah,
Fun
thank
to be
you.
here.
I'm excited for these talks. These talks for me are like, I don't have to think, I can just feel with my soul. I have some rapid fire questions. Shall we?
Let's go.
You feel good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Why do so many people who do the self-care still feel so empty on the inside?
I would say you can do self-care externally. You do yoga, go for a walk, take a hot bath. I mean, all those, but if you don't look internally, you can't heal, you can't integrate, you can't drop into your heart and soul. It's an internal job. It's not just external.
What is a spiritual practice that can actually help people who are in that burnout? And like they are burnt out. They're burnt out on life, they're burnt out on work. What's a spiritual practice that you know is really nourishing for people who are in that state?
I would start with just practicing come into the present moment. I know a lot of us hear this, but it really is. Can you take 5 minutes and we're not our mind, we're not our thoughts, but just come into our body, feel our body, even just, putting your hands on your chest, feel your heartbeat, calms our nervous system, helps bring and drop us into the moment, and just be there, feel that. That's the starting path. Amazing.
A lot of people, you go on social media, healing trauma, heal your trauma, childhood trauma. What is one thing that they're missing? What is one thing that they're kind of getting wrong and missing when we're talking about trauma? Is there something else we're not seeing?
I would say healing. And there are a lot of people that practice in the healing arena, a lot of therapists. Traditionally, it's been talk therapy, but it has to be mind, body, spirit. It has to be body, it has to be spirit. Because we store from trauma, from even early childhood, these memories in our body. And until we release them out of our body, they're there. We have to release the cellular memory. So it's whole person healing, mind, body, and spirit.
There's a lot on manifestation. You open up TikTok, you open up Instagram, you can manifest the life that you want, the partner that you want, the money that you want, everything. And what's a myth in the manifestation world, using energy, spirit, God, manifestation world, that is actually keeping people stuck where they are?
I would say there's a lot out there, of course. Manifestation, I've been following this for years, since a teenager. But if you get stuck in your mind where you're head up and you're thinking it, or you're saying the mantra, or you're trying to visualize it, yeah, you start there, but you got to feel it. We're energy, we're vibration. You gotta feel like you've already done it. You've gotta feel those high energies, love, gratitude. That's what we bring into our life. That's what we attract more in our life. It's an energy. And that is what people miss.
I want to go into that a little bit later, but welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You have done a lot. You've had many lives. You were a chaplain and you were working with people on their deathbed.
Yep.
And that it's such a, I met chaplains. My mom passed away when I was 26. I have actually was very close with the chaplain for the 3 months that we were there. And you must have seen a lot of stuff, a lot of grieving, a lot of different types of dying and death. What's one thing in those rooms that you still carry with you that you remember that really imprinted you when it comes to death?
Big question. I worked as a chaplain at our level 1 trauma hospital in the Twin Cities called Hennepin County Medical Center. And I also worked at our hospice, Fairview Hospice. So I've seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people die in front of me. So I've seen a lot. It's to answer your question, I would say it's a little nuanced in that searing memories in my brain that I will carry with me till I die is working at our level 1 trauma hospital, where I'd spend the whole 8-hour shift in the emergency room, in the ER, and it would be call after call. They would say, helicopter 5 minutes out, and then we'd all get ready. They would go into the stabilization room, which is the 4 high trauma beds. And we saw everything from gun shootings to accidents to a sudden medical event, and showing up there, being there. And I even wore special shoes to walk into that room because there was so much blood on the ground, walking around, trying to navigate if the person was there or they died right in front of all of us, and then meeting the family in the waiting room. And that was one of the most hardest things to do, is tell the family that their loved one just died with the doctor. So at a level 1 trauma hospital, there's a lot you see, which I learned one takeaway, a really important message of how do you work with energy, game changer, so that I don't burn out. But when you die like that, it's quick and sudden, versus working in hospice where you're dying, you're at end of life. So you have some time to process. It may only be a few days, it may be a few weeks, maybe a few months. Typically it's a week or two, but you have time to process. So a big takeaway in hospice was, and this is the impetus of writing my book, Everyday Awakening, is I would be with people the last days, and all of a sudden they would drop in. There would be an awareness of this is life. They're not their house, the money, the cars, their titles, but this is it. This is life, the preciousness of life. And they would just start to drop into that place of deep consciousness and oneness and exude this light and love around their body. And it was magical. I'm like, I can't believe I'm being paid to walk with this person, and they're teaching me the essence of why we're on this earth. And then they would die. And my book was like, you don't have to wait till you're in crisis upheaval. You can choose to awaken right now.
How common was that moment? How common was the drop into an expanded consciousness? Was it most people have that moment before they die?
I would say large majority. Yeah, if not almost all by the last day. And maybe we're talking the last hour or two. But at the very end, I'll say years as a hospice chaplain, it was rare to see someone die who wasn't at peace. They finally would drop in.
Wow.
And again, it would maybe conscious on, kind of moving back and forth in the transition phase. But yeah, a peace at the end. That was magical. And I was witnessing them drop in and then I would witness and sense and feel their spirit leave their body. Death is not an end. And yeah, it was a magical time to be with people.
Would you be able to see someone's spirit leave their body when they die? And what was that experience like?
My experience with being with so many people at end of life, in hospice in particular, is I could sense and feel their energy moving up their body. And that was my experience, up. And then they would come up to the top and come out of the top of their head. And sometimes when I was with people at end of life, I can see kind of energy and auras, and I could see there wasn't much light around them. So my role, I thought, was I just wanted to help them transition, and I would see light around their body to move up to reach up into, to release, to leave. So I would just visualize light around their whole body to help them leave.
This is interesting that you say this because when my grandmother died, my aunt was with her, and it was like 1996. I was a kid, but I never forgot that I overheard my mom's sister tell my mom that she actually saw from the top of the head something move out. And I always had that image imprinted. I'm like, my grandma, what do you mean? She moved out of her head? I was just a kid. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But since then, I've heard many people say that the spirit leaves through the head. Does it go to heaven? Is that where it goes? Is there a space or a place or are angels guiding? Are angels real? What have you felt into in that experience?
And I'd love to hear your opinion too. So I think we're a soul, spirit soul in a body for a short time, and then our body dies, and then we are eternal. We're this divine essence, manifestation of consciousness, universe, whatever language. I've worked with thousands of people. But our soul leaves our body and goes on. Can I give you details of what happens? Not quite. But I see a lot. I get a lot. I see spirits daily. I get a lot. But in my studies with masters, I have a master's in theology and divinity. Here's where I land, take it with a grain of salt, is I don't really think there's a heaven or a hell. I think it's energy. Energy doesn't die. We go on. I think my sense is we are connected with loved ones, angels. I mean, I see angels now in real time. But I do think when we are passing, and I've witnessed this many times, is loved ones come to help. I think angels come in the room. I mean, I've literally been in so many patients' rooms where they're leaving their body, and I can feel and sense and see so much happening in the room, and then light coming in, and it's magical. I mean, I even witnessed this with my father who died. It's been almost 20 years, but when he actually took his last breath, I just was the only one in the room next to him in our home. All my siblings had left the room, and I was sitting next to him, and I just said in my mind, I'm okay. It's okay, Dad. And he all of a sudden went from being unconscious to turning his head right at me, looking at me, and then like, shoo, left. And this whole band of energy came in the room right when this was happening. And you would think you'd be scared, but I was like, wow. Not one speck of fear. I was just like, this was magical.
It was beautiful.
So beautiful and so peaceful.
I hear so much. It's just this American culture that we don't even want to know about death. At least other cultures will have ceremonies around it, bringing awareness to it. But we are like taboo, don't even talk about it. I don't even want to know that I'm going to die, which is scary to even say. But what conversations like this really help us sort of ease into, okay, peaceful death. And my opinion on it is actually hearing you say that has been really cool because the conversations that I've been having are pretty dang similar. They're saying things that are really similar. Angels come, loved ones come, and it comes through the head. So at least at this point, that's my belief system. I mean, I'm talking to people who see this stuff and feel this stuff. And so what a gift it is to have that experience with your dad and feel peace yourself. And what I'm trying to say is like birth is such a ceremony. We're happy. It's the birth of my son, the birth of my daughter. Everyone comes. It's a whole thing. And then with death, we don't want to talk about it. But can we bring more awareness and celebration to something like that, like you said, which is actually beautiful. It's a beautiful experience.
It's so beautiful. I'll share with you. I just had the most magical moment with my 97-year-old mother, who's completely healthy, going strong. She was the one who walked with me when I was 11 years old on the edge of life and death. I mean, we're so connected. And a few weeks ago, seeing her, I had this impetus in my being to just ask her, are you having any fear? She has a really strong faith. but do you have any fear? I mean, because last winter she was 1 inch from death, 1 inch. I mean, she got COVID and pneumonia and she fell, and I would go home at night crying, like, is she going to make it through the night? And so I could feel death right around her. And that's transitioned anyway. So I go over to her place, we're sitting together. And before I even bring it up, she says to me, I want to ask you, I've been thinking about this, Catherine. What do you think happens when we die? What is heaven like? And I just said, I think it's magical. I really do. I think it's all incredible of a journey. And I asked her if you have any fear. And she said, I'm not. I have no fear. Which was just that, as you were just saying, people have fear of death and dying. We can also not have fear.
When you were working in hospice especially, and maybe even in acute care, did you ever hear someone say, I wish I did more of this? What was the most common phrase that you heard with people on their deathbed?
Yeah, I mean, it was not, I wish I had a better car. I wish I made more money. Never. But it was more, I wish I, could forgive so-and-so, or I'm having trouble letting this go. And that was the work I did as a chaplain, helping them find peace in their heart to let go. So it's never too late. I really have witnessed people within days, right before they die, transition open, crack open to life, let go, find that deep healing. I've seen it up until the very end.
Wow. Even till the end, you can...
Yep. Absolutely.
Quote unquote heal.
Yep.
You just crack open and come back to yourself.
100%.
And this is sort of the work that you're doing, that really people around this space, we want to bring people back to their hearts. And it's really interesting that you say back to the heart, because I've been doing the somatic work for 6 years now. Before that, I've been doing all the doctor-logical work and working with the bodies. And I've sort of landed, at least to date, and there's always evolutions, how important the heart is for healing. And you don't learn this in medical school. You learn about the heart's function, you learn about the drugs that affect it, you learn about the foods and the medications and the herbs and all of that. But you don't really tune into what is the energetic signature of the heart in healing. And what I have found is in my own healing, there's three major things that have made the biggest shifts. It was the psychedelic days when I was doing all the psychedelics. It was the somatic work with the crying and screaming and anger. And then it was the more gentle, quiet work of connecting to the heart and actually integrating that stuff. So all that to say, in your work, there's a lot of heart-centric work, connecting people back to their heart. Why is that so important in healing for your eyes? You spend a third of your life in bed. Why would you settle for anything less than the best? I mean, I want you to think about it. We obsess over what we eat, what we drink, the air we breathe, but then we spend 8 hours every single night on a mattress filled with synthetic chemicals and materials. I've had my Birch mattress for quite some time now, and I can honestly, and I mean honestly, say that it's been one of the most impactful investments I've made in my overall wellness. But here's what really drew me to Birch initially, as someone who thinks deeply about everything I consume and surround myself with and how it affects my health. I knew the mattress couldn't be an exception. Most mattresses on the market today are essentially chemical cocktails. They are wrapped in fabric and you breathe them in for the life of the bed, whether it's synthetic foams, flame retardants, off-gassing materials, all through the night. Conventional beds are a problem, period. But Birch mattress, they take a completely different approach. They're using natural and organic materials like natural wool, organic latex, and organic cotton. What I absolutely love is that every Birch mattress is certified safe and completely fiberglass free, so you're not breathing in any of those cheap, nasty flame retardants. They use zero polyurethane-based foams, so no off-gassing when you sleep. They are Green Guard Gold certified, which means you can be completely comfortable in knowing what you're sleeping on. It's breathable, it's comfortable. You're not going to be waking up, tossing and turning, heating at night, whether you're a back sleeper, side sleeper, it doesn't matter. The Birch is comfortable. And I'm going to tell you something amazing. You can test your new Birch mattress risk-free for 100 nights in your own home. It ships free, rolled up in a box, and you can set up within minutes. Thank you, Birch Living, for sponsoring Heal Thyself. Visit birchliving.com/heal thyself for 20% off your Birch mattress. That is birchliving.com/heal thyself, HEALYTHYSELF. Here's something that may hit home for a lot of you. How many of you toss and turn in your sleep? How many of you wake up really easily through the night? How many of you wake up exhausted even after you know you've been in bed and you slept for 8 hours? I've been there. It's frustrating. Actually, I'm more sensitive of a sleeper, so I'm in there fairly often if I don't do the right things for myself. It's not that my mind won't shut down. I can go to sleep. It's that I wake up easily. But some people, their mind won't shut down. Now, a lot of you rely on melatonin, like many people do. It works, but I've taken it before. It gives me the weirdest dreams. It keeps me super groggy. The next day, I know the morning's harder, sluggish. It's even into the afternoon for me. So I knew I wanted to support my sleep. I know a few of my friends who really benefit from CBD sleep gummies. And I said, let me give it a try. I researched what are the best CBD sleep gummy companies out there. There's not a lot. The gummy industry inherently doesn't really care about creating purified, clean gummies, not like cornbread hemp. Cornbread gummies, the CBD ones, have been a game changer for my nighttime routine. I spoke about this for many months. You might have heard me talk about this before. They have a USDA organic, melatonin-free CBD gummy made in America, which means you get all of the natural sleep support benefits without any of that morning grogginess. And it's real. It's not a fake formulation. You're taking full spectrum, flower only hemp extract combined with natural botanicals like valerian root, lavender, and chamomile. These ingredients have been used for centuries. They're evidence-based. They promote relaxation, a restful sleep. And when you combine it with CBD, especially the full spectrum one, your whole system calms down. And I'm talking about within an hour to an hour and a half before bed. You take it 2 hours, you might not make it to the bed. You might fall asleep on the couch. But what happens is your whole nervous system feels really calm. You start getting tired. And if you couple these with blue blockers, you will be out. It's a little, I'm telling you the nighttime hack. You couple it with blue blockers, you eat your gummy. It is incredible. And you're not groggy, you're not sluggish. And it's like your nervous system is really winding down. Cornbread Hemp is one of the few companies that cares about even producing organic gummies. They're vegan, gluten-free, they're made without any sugar coating, clean, natural ingredients that you can pronounce, no synthetic compounds, no questionable additives, pure organic wellness. If you're looking for a way to wind down, one of my favorite ways is to go with the Cornbread Sleep Gummy, the CBD one. Right now, they're offering you 30% off of your first order. Go to cornbreadhemp.com/DRG and use the code DRG at checkout. That is CORNBREAD HEMP, hemp.com/DRG. The code is DRG for 30% off.
Well, this is a key theme, the number one theme I heard in my years of working as a chaplain. I continue to hear it in my private practice is just learning to love, learning to feel into their heart, learning to feel into the being, not living, head up. I think so many people live on autopilot where their mind runs them. And to understand, we're not that thought, we're not that feeling, we're that quiet essence, eternal essence behind all of that. But it's by coming into your body, coming into your heart, feeling it and feeling love. And it starts with loving ourselves, feeling into the preciousness of life. That's where you cultivate, open into all of that. And that's what I witnessed with people dying was love. That's all that mattered. That's all people wanted. And they would say, it's just about love. That's it. That's what I witnessed.
They'll say statements like that on their deathbed. Yeah. It's just about love.
They were like, it was just feeling that love. And then I could see like this radiating light around their body as they were passing.
I always say that death is a moment to remember, right? And it's like this, wow, I had this accessible all the time. So what are the huge things that are then blocking us from this expression and experience of love? So we don't have to wait an hour, 10 minutes, 1 second before we die.
I think we get caught up in our mind, our ego. So easy being human to just, our mind runs us, our thoughts, our feelings, but to understand we're not our thoughts, we're not our feelings. And again, starting with coming back to the moment, feeling into the energy, having those moments. And every single person hearing this today, has had feelings of awe, wonder, sun setting or ripple in a lake or the wind. And you're like, and you just like, there's just a magical energy. That's presence. That's what I'm talking about. That cultivating that, feeling into that, growing that. Yeah.
And experiencing the world from that place.
Yes.
So did you always have this attunement towards energy when you were a kid?
It started when I was 11, 11 years old. At 10, I was 10 turning 11. I was suddenly gravely ill and diagnosed with a very rare childhood cancer. My parents, they didn't tell me.
Wow.
My parents, they told my parents I had a 20% chance to live. This is in the 70s. And if you can believe it, they had no programs for children. I was at the U of M hospital and no one talked to me. No one talked to me. Not one medical person. My family, I'd say my family is very corporate, very polished, never spoke about feelings. No one talked to me about what was happening. My mom, I started really intensive treatments, chemotherapy, radiation, surgeries, and it was really grim back then. I mean, back then they did tons of amputation. I would sit in the children's oncology unit and they without arms and legs, and they had no anti-nausea drugs, and screaming and crying, and it was a lot. I saw, a person across from me in this room, she died, and I mean, it was just like, wow. So it all started at, if you can believe it, at 11, I just could feel. I could feel like I was between life and death. I could feel I was walking on this tightrope, and out of nowhere, faith had meant nothing. We intermittently went to a Lutheran church, never discussed faith. And I just started to pray, like begging, whatever, could I live? And my prayer was, please, can I live? Please, can I live to be 20? 20. I thought if I was 20, I'd done life. And I prayed and prayed. I told no one. And then weeks, months later, one afternoon, I felt this like peaceful energy pour through my body. It was just like, ugh. It was just a knowing. I just knew I was going to live, and I just knew I wasn't alone. So I tuned into that, what do you want to say, God consciousness, divine consciousness, that's been with me to this moment.
Wow. It's a moment that you felt that there was more to life.
I knew it.
Than things that we see.
Yep.
And in that consciousness filling up that vessel that is you, were you then able to see spirits, feel into people's energy?
Not so much. I felt that presence with me, which was so comforting. I mean, my mom was with me through everything, and she would say to me, you're going to be fine. And that felt good, but there was no reality of what really was happening. And it wasn't till, that feeling of something more opening into this consciousness started. It started through my teenage years. It's just been with me. It wasn't until in my 30s, I had a near-death experience, whitewater rafting in Costa Rica, that after that experience, then I really cracked open and started seeing energy and spirits. And
wow.
Yeah.
And did you ever find an explanation of what happens in a near-death experience, that all of a sudden when you're back in your waking life and healthy and back too, you can see energy? Is it a brain change that happens?
That's such a good question. It was a huge turning point in my life because, as I mentioned, my family being corporate, even though I went through this life and death experience as a child, after high school, I went to college, and I still went on the business path because that was the family paradigm. So I joined Time Magazine. I had this incredible job, making a lot of money and flying on Time's corporate jet, all that. It was alluring, right? But then on the side, I'm bringing books about life, meaning, purpose. My colleagues were like, what are you doing? Why are you reading this? But I just had this feeling in my gut, like, this isn't right. Even though the outside world was tempting, I just this isn't right. So after that experience, whitewater rafting, and it was actually on a Time Inc. corporate trip. We weren't supposed to go whitewater rafting. There was actually a policy with Time Inc. about that. But I just was like, I was done. It gave me the courage to within 2 weeks, I gave my notice. And my family blew up about it. My father yelled at me. Time Inc., the president called me of our division, like, what are you doing? But it gave me the courage to just shift. Like, I need to listen. Why am I here? What am I called to do? And it gave me the courage to walk away and to open this whole new path that has been incredible.
So there's a lot of people, if you're listening, then can relate to that. They might have a nice job, security, their parents are happy with their job, right? And for all intents and purposes, they've created a good life. But for you, you knew that there was something more. So how do the people viewing, listening, who go, wait a minute, I have a job, it's a good job, but I feel like I have more inside of me. I feel like I want to do more. How do we even build that courage or bravery to start stepping into something that is going to be more risky, but more in line with our purpose?
Can you just start to listen of going inward, creating space, even starting with, a few minutes here, a few minutes there, starting to create moments of presence, even go for a walk. I love walking outside. Go for a walk, use your senses. All your senses, just drop you into now, the moment, because it's there that we feel the sensing, the guidance. It's every one of us is guided. We all have gifts, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentient, every one of us, but it's only when we're silent. It's only when we're quiet. So it takes courage. It takes courage to decide, I'm going to look inward. I'm going to feel into this, because energetically, if I can really listen and feel, it's not feeling right. This isn't feeling like the path I'm being called to live.
And for me, at least somatically, the experience is that my heart's not in it. I'm doing something, and maybe viewers and listeners, you can relate to this. I'm doing something which it's like it's from my head. It's like, okay, this pays well, or this should be something that I'm doing because it'll be good for my career. But I actually don't feel excited. And that's what it is. It's the experience of excitement. Does this excite me? And where does it excite me? If it excites my head, completely different. But I know when it excites my heart and body, because it's like this conversation is exciting for me. I'm actually had that thought before we sat down, or when we started, that I want to do more shows like this, because this is where my heart lies more than shows talking about things that I spoke about years ago. I love nutrition, but I don't really want to talk about nutrition anymore. I think there's deeper things that dictate our health. And I think food matters, but it's more downstream than I mean, if you're eating good food, but you're not present, your nervous system is being affected. So viewers and listeners, they go, okay, what's my purpose? Is it just about getting quiet and your purpose arises? You get sort of clues, little carrot bites that you follow that trail, because purpose, a lot of us feel so lost and hopeless.
It's all the above. It's tuning in. I think about our thoughts, feelings, we're energy, electromagnetic body, we're energy. So it's tuning into the energy, because every one of us, we're guided. And so like you said, your heart, your feeling, me as well. I mean, I get so much guidance when I tune into how I feel, when I'm quiet and still. I can start a gift. I get a lot of guidance. I hear it, clairaudience. I get a lot. I see a lot. But again, it's only in those moments of more stillness can we really feel into, see, sense how every one of us is guided. But you have to go inward. And I think a lot of people like to stay outward. It's too scary, or, oh no, the money's too great.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, and I've witnessed this with people dying, I mean, so you have how many millions or whatever, but if you're really unhappy, you kind of realize when you're about to die, this was my life. What did I miss? Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe next lifetime.
Yeah. Is it possible, we're energy, right? So if I'm energy and the guy across the street is energy and we're having a conversation in the middle of the street, can I take on his quote unquote bad energy? Can I suck up that bad energy, and can it actually affect my energetic field? Is that even real?
100%.
100%.
100%.
Okay.
Everything's energy. We're energy right now in this room feeling, you have nice energy.
Thank you.
This is something I fine-tuned when I worked at our trauma hospital as a chaplain. So for 25 years, every single day of my life, I haven't missed one. I work with energy and energy boundaries because I'm really empathic. I'm really sensitive. I get a lot. So when I was working at HCMC, you can only imagine 8 hours of seeing how many people in one shift die in front of you, and the trauma and the crying and it's so sacred, but it's a lot. And I would see my colleagues just start to become crispy or turn off, or you burn out. It's too much. You can't, because we absorb energy. We just do, some more than others, but yes. And then in a matter of seconds, our whole nervous system can become dysregulated. So I've been teaching, and I have this in my book also, how to work with energy. We can work with energy, and it's a process. And I share a couple different ways I could share if you want right now, just
Please.
how to work with energy. So, and before I share this, I just want to say, so exciting. The latest medical textbook, Integrative Medicine by Dr. David Rakel, who endorsed my book. He has a section on this in his big, thick textbook. So what I'm telling you is it's finally being accepted by the medical community. It's being acknowledged that, yes, we're energy, how to work with energy. So a few different ways is, we have an aura around us. Our energy field is about as far as our arms extend. So you can see like an eggshell or a bubble. I always have a hole at the top for light, divine light to come through. So you see this eggshell around you. So any negative, heavy energy just hits that eggshell, drops away. You could also have this eggshell hole at the top with mirrors on the outside, so the energy reflects back out. Another way, this is what I do every day. It's a little esoteric. So every morning before I start my day, I say, I'm going to send what I want to send out in the world. I want to send love, peace. I choose love. So I say, I'm going to send, here's an example. You could say, I'm going to send 70% love and only taking 30, 80, 20, 90, 10. I do, because I'm really empathic. I'm going to send 90% love to everyone I encounter today, everything. And I'm only going to take in 10%. So I say that, and I can feel my whole energy system set up, and I'm good. You could also work with colors, but these are just a few examples, but it is a game changer. I mean, when I did this working as a chaplain, because I wanted to be present, but I didn't want to turn off or not be present, with the patient, with the family members, life-changing.
Can I share something here?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Are you struggling to eat enough protein every single day? I mean, really getting the amount of protein that your body needs to build muscle and support recovery and even maintain healthy hair, skin, and nails. If you're like most people, you are probably falling short, and that's where something incredible comes in. I want to talk to you about Kion aminos, and here's why they have become such an essential part of my daily life. I take it every single day. I take it every single day, whether in the capsule form or in the powder form. Protein is essential, especially over the age of 40. And what happens is we don't get enough. And you definitely need whole food sources of protein. But it's what's inside the protein that actually builds muscle and supports these overall vital functions. And those are called essential amino acids. What most people don't realize is that Kion aminos ensures you're getting all of the essential amino acids from protein that your body absolutely needs. It contains more essential amino acids than most protein sources out there, and you're absorbing more essential amino acids to build better muscle and overall health. But what makes Kion completely different from everything else on the market is that it contains all the 9 essential amino acids, not just the 3 you get in branched chain amino acids, and not just the 8 you get from other brands, but it has the right proportions at the right dosage. And something I really value by this company is that they're transparent. They give you the exact amounts of essential amino acids that they label. There are no proprietary blends, no hiding behind fancy marketing terms. You are actually absorbing what you get. I've been taking the Kion amino acids for 3 years now. I've noticed better muscle building, better muscle recovery, stronger workouts, more sustained energy. I give it to my dad, my brother's on them. I'm giving it to everyone who's over 40 at this point. It's like really giving your muscles and organs the premium feel that they've been craving, especially if you have a workout regimen. So right now you can save 20% on Kion aminos by using my link. Go to getkion.com/DRG. That is GETKION.com/DRG. And I'm going to tell you the best part, they offer a risk-free 60-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it completely risk-free. Let me talk to you something that has been a total game changer in my home, and it's probably not what you think. It is an air purifier, because what we breathe in matters as much as what we eat or drink. And air quality in our homes can be filled from everything from mold spores to pollen to smoke to allergies. And air purifiers are so important. Most of them are going to be in plastic boxes, make a lot of noise. And then I discovered the Jasper. The Jasper was brought to me by my sales team, and they said, this is a fantastic air purifier. And I looked into it, and it was true. I loved it so much that I got the founder on. And what immediately caught my attention is the design. It's so many of the air purifiers are clunky, antiquated looking, 90s looking, and this is sleek, quiet, and powerful. But here's what really got me. It's built with steel, not plastic. So we're talking about machines that are actually built to last. So Jasper handles everything from smoke to mold to pollen, all the allergens that make you feel terrible without you even realizing why. Whether you're dealing with seasonal allergies, live in an area that is susceptible to wildfires or smoke, or just want the cleanest air possible in your home, get this. I am confident that you will love it. It has a lifetime warranty. Yes, lifetime. That tells you everything you need to know about the quality and engineering that goes into these units. Since I've been using my Jasper for about a year now, I have 2 running. One's on the first floor, one's on the second floor. I have 3 actually, 1 first floor, second, third floor. And I've noticed cleaner air, better overall sleep, and just an overall sense that my home environment is clean. The air is nice. We tested it. We have people come in and test the air and they say the air is super clean. Thank you, Jasper. Go to jasper.co/DRG and use the code DRG for $200 off for a limited time. That is JASPR.co/DRG. The code is DRG. Because you've said this and it really resonated. For the past 4 months, remember I told you off air that I've been like connecting to this spirit of Jesus and how did Jesus heal? And that's when I started learning about my own field. So every morning I'll, like expand my field as best as I can, really just attune to it, make my statements, but I also keep an open space for light from source to come in. So it's when you said that, I was like, wait, you do that too? I made it up. I thought I'd made it up, but it was sort of intuitive, I guess. So this field is here, but I protect it with this like blue membrane. That only lets in certain things and keeps out other
Color
things.
Is fabulous.
Yeah, blue membrane. So, but this was all intuitive. No one told me how to do it. It's incredible.
Oh, good. Color is great. I have a daughter living in New York City. She's a fashion designer and she works with color.
She does.
She works with blue or green, or you can change the color. But it truly, for people listening, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. I agree. I agree. And here, can I share one tidbit? Yes. So once in a blue moon, this has happened where, this happened with my husband and I walking into a really busy restaurant a few weeks ago. So many people. And I'd already, had my energy set up, but I was like, wow. And I didn't even think. I just said 100-0. So I'm like, send 100% love, taking nothing. Yeah. And I did. And I felt like I was walking on a beach by myself, no one around. And I was just like, I'm good.
Wow.
I mean, it really, so.
You had that experience.
Yeah.
So I am better. So oftentimes I go to crowds. Like before this, I'd be at like a party or an event and I would be exhausted after.
Oh, totally.
And I'd go straight to want to eat something because I need something to like replenish me. So I get an orange or a banana. I need something immediately. And I just thought it was just like I was worn out from talking so much. But after doing these practices, I can totally be resilient in groups. Yeah. It's actually a game changer. Yeah. And I love that you said it'll change because it really does. Yeah. And at the end, I'll just like clear. I'll take a shower every night and clear and clear and clear.
Cut cords. That's cut something cords. Else I do, cutting cords. And, and one other tidbit I'll share that I've done in my life. It works. And that is, let's say you're with your family or friends or something, and there's someone that's challenging to be with. I'll sit there and I'll see, and I see a lot. I'll see light flooding through them and around them. And it's just amazing how I can see their aura and everything shift and soften and heal. It can heal people.
Listen, viewers and listeners, I know this sounds esoteric. I know it does, but try this for a month. We already gave you some practices, but it really does change things. So you said you've been able to hear things. Clairaudience, yeah, and see sometimes.
Clairvoyance. I see spirits every day.
So you see spirits every day. Okay,
every day. So it's just my reality.
Did that happen after the near-death experience?
It did.
Okay, yeah. And what was the first spirit experience like? That would just pass you in the street, or what happened?
Good question. Okay, so I quit Time Magazine, and I think I shared with you my family was just like, my father, consummate entrepreneur, like incredible guy. But he yelled at me, "You leave Time Warner!" Like, and then I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to study theology." And he's like, "Geology!" And I'm like, "No, theology."
You're doing what?
Yeah, he was just like, "Oh my gosh." So I was doing some consulting work, kind of like, where am I being called? And listening. And that's when it came to me about studying theology. I was like, wow. But at the time, my husband had a small startup internet company, like 20 guys in a warehouse. So I thought, oh, I'll do some consulting with them. And I was in a meeting with them. And by the way, the job, it was just awful. You know, you go from Time Magazine to be in a warehouse with 20 internet guys, like, yikes. So I'm in a meeting with about 5 guys talking business. And in that meeting, all of a sudden, the whole room lit up with eyes, moving pieces. Yes, fascinating. And surprisingly, I didn't get spooked, really. I was kind of like, this is interesting, huh? I'll say, and so it's been with me ever since, but very lucky. Where I'm from in Minneapolis, there's a shaman medical intuitive I've worked with for many, many years.
Cool.
His name's Michael, and he sees what I see. So I've had a mentor, someone I've worked with, who it's just like, yay.
And was able to validate.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
And we talk about, you know, when I was a chaplain, people I was with died, and then within a week, many come back and see me in the middle of the night, and I'd open my eyes and like an outline of their face in a blue or green, like right there, right in front of me. And at first it was like, whoa, and then they'd be gone. But then I just started realizing, yeah, they're coming to just thank me, move on. So I'd share that with Michael, and we'd be like, yeah, that was that patient you saw last week.
Wow, so would you see their face like it was in the physical realm?
Rough, like a nebulous kind of outline.
Okay.
Yeah, but it would be like, I would literally open my eyes and it'd be right there.
Literally like the movies.
Yeah, no, real time, real life. I mean, it happened many times to the extent that I had to go to bed and I put up energy boundaries. I'd be like, you cannot come within 20 feet and wake me up. And then at the end of my years as a chaplain, I would invite people. I mean, you know, patients that were deeply spiritual. And, you know, I'd say, yeah, come see me. So I really controlled how much at the end, because it was too much.
Yeah, of course, I can imagine, especially because you have that connection to the world if they want to say a message or just thank you. I'm sure that there's like a big queue of, okay, she's open, everyone come in.
You have to be careful. I mean, you have to know how to work with it.
I've seen one ghost or spirit in my life. And it was nebulous. It was like an outline of a human walking around. I just knew something was walking around 15 feet away from me in my kitchen in the middle of the night. And the lights were on fully. So I was like, I can't believe I'm seeing this, you know?
Wow.
And that's the moment I said, I mean, years before that I felt and I heard sounds, but it wasn't until that moment where I go, wow, this is really something. So yeah, I mean, like it's hard to deny that, but why? Don't they go to heaven? Don't they die? Do they still have a message? Is there still something? Why do spirits stay here and want to communicate?
This is my opinion, my gleaning in this field and working in this field for years. I think when we die, like I said, our soul leaves our body, but then I think there's a transition. We transition until we like really move beyond. I think some spirits, souls, you know, maybe it takes a long time to transition. I think there's a transition period. That's what I really get. And I'll share, this is my opinion. I don't think there's a heaven or hell, but here's what I think hell is. This is my sense. And that is when we die, we go through all these layers. We see, I think, our life and what we did. And maybe people, unfortunately, like we hurt or this or that. I think that's the hell. Like, wow, I really didn't help that person, or I hurt that person, or I have 5 older siblings. I lost a brother who died, not quite, it's been 17, 18 years, of a brain tumor. And loved ones who've passed. I've lost 5 family members. They've come back and seen me, or they've come back and seen me in dreams. My brother Jim, within a couple days, he came back, and it was a very lucid dream. Right when I was waking up, he's like, "You won't believe all the layers you go through when you die."
He said that to you?
Yeah, he was like, "You go through all these layers," and I've also seen him. He's popped into my kitchen midday, and like, there's Jim, you know, and I know he's okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you? Are there spirits here right now?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah? You can sense them and see them?
Yeah. I see, like, what I see a lot regularly is totem animals. I think we have, angels around us. We have totem animals.
Oh,
and
cool.
so my totem animal is a wolf. So I see a wolf around me all the time.
Whoa, anyone's behind me hanging out? Foxes, mosquitoes, snails?
Yeah, I'd have to tune in, but
Okay, cool. I don't know, maybe something was obvious.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool. Now, let me ask you a question now. Now this might be controversial now. We talk about angels. We talk about spirits. Are all of them benevolent, or are spirits malevolent? And are those malevolent spirits what we call demons?
I think there's dark energy. Some people get caught up in all the language. For me, I think there's dark energy, but I think light outweighs the darkness. And I'll tell you, would you like to hear a little story?
Oh, we love story
As a
time.
chaplain, being around someone who is possessed, it's real.
Is it really?
It's 100%
By
real.
dark energy?
This woman, I've had 2 experiences when I was a chaplain. They were both possessed.
This is.
I write about one in my books. You have to read my book.
Now you've piqued my interest.
Yeah. So
Now I'm ready.
okay. So it was a typical day, seeing patients all day, and I walk into it was a long-term care center. The elderly woman's actively dying. Her son is right by the bed. And, you go in, you say hello, and, I had a sense of their background from reading chart notes. And I walk up to the bed, and the son says to me, can you share some prayers? I'm like, of course. And we chatted just a little. I mean, literally his mom is at the very end stages, dying. And next thing you know, she starts hissing and growling. And it was just like, and in the moment, I was like, wow. So I was like, in my gut. And I just, in the moment, like, God, angels, protect me, surround me. And so I took out my Bible, prayers, I shared a bunch of prayers. And I just was there sharing prayers while she was obviously possessed. And the son, there was no reaction. I was thinking, oh, this is curious. So I finish. I turn myself to go in. As a hospice worker, you typically have a book for the family where you jot a note and that I was there. So as I turn and walk to the book, all of a sudden I felt this, like someone took a knife and stabbed me in the neck. I was just like, oh. I literally grabbed my neck.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to write a note and leave. And I did. And I went to my car and I was like, holy gosh, some spirit was trying to attack me. And this is fascinating. That late afternoon, I had an appointment with that guy, Michael, I was telling you. And we're like, oh my gosh, confirming, yeah, it was a dark spirit. They're trying, but they couldn't penetrate me. They couldn't. They tried. My neck was sore for a few days.
Wow.
And then another one, same story, get to this family's home. The woman's gurgling, growling, and the daughter's like, oh, she's possessed. I was like, oh, good. We're just naming what's happening. And I shared prayers. It wasn't as dramatic, and I have also had a couple times a dark spirit come in my bedroom. And I've just, I have that light around me. I have a grid. I can work with a grid around me and I'm fine. I'm fine. And the message for everyone listening is, if you pick up a dark energy, heavy energy, I 100% believe light outshadows darkness, asking for protection in the moment. Just say, please, God, divine universe, whatever you want to say, please protect me, surround me right now, and you'll be okay. You will.
Interesting. My biggest trauma growing up was the movie The Exorcist. I watched it way too early. So
I don't watch scary movies.
Yeah. Ironically, I was into scary. It made me be into scary, but I think it was a whole internal somatic experience. So I always battled with is this real? Is it not real? I mean, I grew up religious, so it was like, okay, well, there's demons. And the house that I grew up in was haunted, so that ghost became a demon for me. First it was ghosts, and then I saw the movie, and then I was like, oh no, there's a demon. And that's why it was really traumatic for me.
I bet. Oof.
Really traumatic. And so I battle with this many times. Is like, okay, if we pass on, isn't it just all love? Isn't it all just benevolent? Isn't it all just coming back to source? But I sense that there's something here that is like pain. There's a pain. There's a like maybe a darkness, as you say. And I, as much as I was like, no, I think we die and we all come back to love. Then all of a sudden in this house, I had an experience last year or earlier this year. Oh, it was from November till April. Every single night, there was something that got into bed with me, and I was so uncomfortable because I could not sleep. So what did you do? I swear to God, I tried everything. I tried the religious route. I tried the Palo Santo. I tried the sage. I tried to be forceful. I tried to surrender. I don't know what happened, but I when you said the neck, it kind of struck me because I thought to myself, there was a moment. Every night I would feel it. It would, first the bed would shake a little bit and I know that it was here. Then everything got really cold, like ice cold. And then I would feel this tingling in my feet. And then I'd feel this movement from under the bed. It's sort of like, you know, when you'd go to the mall and lay on those couches and put your legs out and it would massage you from under? Yeah. That would happen under my body.
Oh, this is funny.
But
it's not funny. But
I would feel it was traumatic and funny. Yeah. And in retrospect, it was. And my girlfriend would be like, she was like, okay, Christian. And then she experienced it too. The bed shook with her in there.
So what'd you do to help?
So I don't know. Basically, I just said, I'm going to surrender and I'm just going to work with my field as best as possible. And I said, I'm going to strengthen my field as best as possible. And then that's when I started doing it. But that was intuitive.
Perfect. So good.
I was at an end resort.
Healer.
Yeah. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah. But that's it. Just
so that was something.
Love and like, oh yeah.
That was something, right?
100%.
And it would go from my lower back every time.
Yeah. 100%.
Something in my lower back, I would feel it trying to go into my lower back. It was like a wormy energy. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, 100%. No, completely get it. And I mean, if I'm around, not often, and again, this, like in all the many hundreds of people I work with, this was rare, but it's real. But if I'm in public and I'm around someone with some dark energy, it's like, I can feel it. I can get it really quickly.
Well, what does it feel?
And I'll just see light. I'll just, like you did, envision light and love around me.
So for the people who don't really identify as spiritual or energetically sensitive, what does that dark energy in another person, around another person, feel like?
I would say my experience is that it feels heavy. I feel it in my gut. It kind of like makes me kind of nervous and tightness and like, ooh, I kind of get a sense like, be careful. Be careful.
The alarm systems go off.
Yeah, right. And right away, my quick go-to is I just see my whole being inside and around me just full of light. And I ask for protection and I'm fine.
Can we do that? Can we actually ask Source or our God or nature or universe? Can we actually say, I need protection in this moment?
Yes. And it's happened to me in the middle of the night. Not a lot, but a few times for the years I was with so many people dying that would come back to see me a few times where all of a sudden a scary energy just popped in. And in that moment, I just, put my hands together like, please surround me with your love and light and please, and stop, go away, surround me. And and it would go away.
It would go away.
Yes.
I love this convo. I love this type of stuff. I really do.
Oh, this is my world.
I know. So your world is really cool.
Yeah, my family, I have a 32-year-old son who's in finance and I love him to death. And he's like, Mom, you just live in La La Land.
It's literally the opposite side of the spectrum.
Yeah. He's like, Mom, why would you say that on TV? Why would you say that?
I love that.
So if he hears this, he'll be like, oh my gosh.
If you go on social media, there's so many people talk about manifestation, right? And it's like a hot topic. Is there a shadow side to manifestation that we're not really talking about? And is it just that easy to manifest the new car that you always wanted?
I would come back to what the whole point of energy, that we're energy. What energy are you embodying? And, I'm sure you're probably familiar with Dr. David Hawkins and his work. So fabulous. I've read all his books. I'm a huge reader. But you think about just the energy scale of, are you embodying love, peace, gratitude, highest vibrational energies our bodies can hold? So tuning in, when you embody more love, you're giving off love, you're bringing in love. But So you can think manifestation, but if you're holding fear thoughts, worry thoughts, less than thoughts, and just that's the energy you're holding, those are some of the lowest vibrational energies, shame, fear, anger, you're going to bring more of that into your life. I see it in my practice every single week. And it comes down to choices. What are you choosing? What are you choosing? Are you willing to look inward? Are you willing to look at what is your thought patterns? What kind of feelings and emotions are you running? Because we can change that. And even the field of neuroplasticity, I'm certified through Rick Hansen in neuroplasticity, but they all come down to the same 4 steps. How we can rewire our brain, how we can experience life differently. It's a choice. We're all choosing.
When the people move through that shame, move through that fear, and connect to those higher frequency emotions like love and joy, like I think about that consciousness pyramid, then are we supercharged, connected to source, and flowing.
Yep, 100%.
And that's the way we manifest.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm guessing people in your audience hear Dr. Joe Dispenza, great work. He'd say the same thing. It's just, what are you embodying? And then seeing yourself with what you want, but those high vibe energies, and
literally
it's
visioning.
a consciousness. It's really a consciousness, and it's a choice. And I'll say I've seen in my private practice, not often, but a few people will come across, land on my doorstep, and we'll work together. And like, I don't want to do the work. I don't want to, I can't go there. Because as you know from your work, I mean, the somatic imprinting from trauma, from abandonment, from attachment issues, until you work with that and let that out of your body, it's cellular and it's in your body and it's dragging you down.
Yeah, it's scary. We don't want to go into it.
I know.
It's just like the ego will say, if you go into this, you're going to die. It's too much.
Yeah. Yep. I have a family member who was like, I don't do emotions.
Oh, Lord.
I know. And I'm like,
oh, Lord.
Bless you. I mean, I was just like, what do you do?
Yeah.
You'll come back another lifetime.
Yeah. For people, look, phone addiction is huge. It's like exploded. Everyone's addicted to their phone. You see it at a bus stop. You see it in the street. You see it in the waiting rooms. Is there, for the people viewing and listening, one thing that we can do to put our phone down and actually connect spiritually more in the same amount of time we'd be scrolling Instagram or something?
Again, it's a choice. It's a choice. To just, I'm going to, on this bus ride or on the train or on the plane, I'm going to spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and just be here now. Even I think it's so powerful. Can you take 5 minutes? And that's nothing, to just be present with whatever it is and just noticing. Because that's when things start to slow down. Our nervous system starts to slow down and you start to have more awareness.
Yeah.
Awareness, number one, I share that in my practice. Awareness, building that awareness muscle. How am I living my day? How much of the day am I in my mind? How much am I in my body? Am I present? Just tuning in that way once or twice a day gives us so much information to then decide, okay, what's the next step?
So for you, the body connection is presence.
Yes.
Anything away from that is we're in our head.
Our mind.
So are you really good at feeling your body?
Really good.
Yeah, you can sense what's going on at any given
every moment.
That's beautiful. Yeah, and that's why I preach it so much. I'm like, hey, people, like we got to be able to feel our body so we can come back into that present state. And what happens in that present state? Is that when we're connected to God?
I think that's when we're always one with this consciousness with God, the divine, but we can feel it. We can experience it. We can just like, for me, starting at 11, it was a visceral, like humming, like energy in my body that I feel to this moment. So for me, every morning when I wake up, it's a habit. First thing I open my eyes, I'm like, thank you. I'm here. I get what it means to just like be gone. And I'm here and I'm thankful. And here's the thing. It's one thing to think about being grateful, but then feel it. It's like a vibration, feeling it through your body. And it sets the tone for your day. Yeah,
it is the somatic experience of that vibration. Supercharges everything.
Yeah.
Man, I love this combo. I wish I could have you here for like an hour and a half, at least more, because I have a whole other questions. We're going to have to do this again. I'm looking at this book, Everyday Awakening. And first of all, it's beautiful looking from just here. It's like,
They did a great job.
They did a great job. Can you tell us what we can expect in this book, and is it out?
Yes. My book came out in the last 2 years, and yeah, it's just growing and growing more every year, every month. My book is about what it means to be alive. How are you choosing to live? I have 42 exercises from breathing, meditation, somatic, energy, working with toning. I mean, just such a range of exercises of how can you come into your heart, come into your soul, feel the oneness of the divine, living from there. So it's like having a few sessions with me.
Oh, beautiful. And where do we find it? Amazon?
Everywhere.
Else?
Yeah. Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Website?
Yeah, my website's Catherine Duncan with a C, catherineduncan.org. And if you look, I'm on every social media channel, and yeah.
Amazing. You do one-on-one too.
I do.
Okay. And that's also on the website? Is that virtual or in person?
I actually, half my clients, it's all over. I see people all over the world.
Amazing.
So.
Amazing. I had a lot of deep questions answered on the show personally. Viewers and listeners, I really hope we answered questions for you too. I have to thank you for sharing your experience, sharing your gifts, teaching us like the stuff that maybe your son thinks is a little crazy, but the stuff that really, really, really matters.
Yeah, thank you. And I started my own podcast, Everyday Awakening. So I'm interviewing people all over the world about what it means to be alive.
Beautiful. I'm going to tune in. I can't wait to hear some of these guests that you mentioned. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Such a delight. So much fun.
Amen.